Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Helena Baillie, and this is Tanya Gabrielian. We just played the introduction from a piece called Suite Italienne. And before we go any further, I'd just like to show you two aspects of this music that suggest it was written somewhere between 1600 and 1750. Let's consider first the character. It's a spirited dance in 3 with a dotted first beat. And the character is unchanging and gives the movement a unified feel. The first beat is dotted. And the emphasis is on the third beat. So the second consideration is the ornamentation. The word Baroque, which is the period between 1600 and 1750, comes from the Portuguese barocco, which means misshapen pearl. And it was applied by critics as a pejorative because they felt that much of the music written in this time was overly fussy and embellished. And let's show an example of a trill. There's actually a flurry of trills in bar 8. Can we play from bar 8? Okay, now that we've looked at these two signifiers of the Baroque period, let's consider for a moment why all is not quite as it seems. And that there's an aspect of this music that doesn't quite fit the Baroque mold. Let's go back to bars 10 through 12. And now, listen carefully for a metric shift that seems to confound our expectations of where the next beat would come. Can we start from bar 10? I'm going to ask Tanya to come and count so that you can hear how the composer has given one measure 4 beats, the next measure 2 beats, and the following measure 3 beats. Tanya, can you explain it? Okay, yeah.
Hi, I'm Tanya, everyone. How many of you here listen to dance music? And so you know how dance music has a regular beat, right? So when you actually notate it, you write the beat by putting bar lines. If you look at any music, you'll see these vertical lines throughout. And that sort of tells you what beat it is in. And during the Baroque time, there'd be different types of dances that everybody would be able to easily recognize. Before they had CDs, before they had records, if you would have certain dances that everybody knew, you would be able to recognize what kind of dance it would be when you hear the music that you probably hadn't heard before. So when you have it here, what happens is the beats shift so that I'm going to be counting the numbers for each bar. So each bar normally for a waltz would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This piece is normally in 4. However, for these sections, you'll see what happens.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So if you don't know this piece and you're trying to dance to it, you'll be like, I don't really know what to do.
Okay, at this point, I'd like to ask, can anyone tell us who wrote the piece? And what time period it was written in? Anybody know it? Does anybody have a guess? We've heard 2 clues that suggest it was written in the Baroque period, and then we've suggested that there are aspects of this music, particularly in its metric organization, that call into question whether a guess for a Baroque composer is correct. Yes, yeah. Very good. Igor Stravinsky wrote this music, and it was written in 1920.